Hi guys, this is Cobra Tom. No Venom Lily, she is at her mom's. I'm gonna be doing a few of these alone. Um, Next month will be the start of Advent, so we'll be doing an Advent calendar. Stay tuned to that. That'll be fun. Actually, we're gonna be doing two of them this year. She has a chocolate one, and we have a surprise that you will see at the end of this month of what kind of advent calendar did we get. So she also told me that she's been feels like she's been forced to do videos, and I don't want her feeling forced to do any videos at all. That kind of not upset me in the sense that, oh, how dare you, but I'm more upset that I was forcing her to do these things, and she feels like I made her, and that kind of is upsetting because I don't want her to feel like I made her do anything. So it's kind of hard, and I'm just going to be doing a bunch of these alone, so if I drop the camera or things fall down and figures aren't coming in very good and all that stuff, well, that's kind of why. I don't have my partner. I'll have my partner during Advent. She is looking forward to that, but the next couple of videos, the end of Iron Grenadier month, I'll be doing the last two videos alone. So I hope you guys will stick with me. I got two more to do, and hopefully we can make it through this, having a good time, and everything goes good for all of us here. Here is my Darklon. Now, I know he doesn't look like it, but I did customize this figure myself. And I gave it the paint color that I did because this is actually the red that it was originally. But this was kind of a greenish color. And I wanted him to match more Iron Grenadier and look a little more Destro Iron Grenadier leader-ish. So I gave him a little more gold, and I gave him a little more stuff. The paint is kind of wearing down a little bit. This is one of the very first figures I ever actually kind of painted myself, and as you can see, well, I didn't do a terrible job, I don't think. Some of the paint's wearing off, some of the stuff, so I did try. Definitely tried giving it this Iron Grenadier type color scheme, and did try to give him more of a leadership looking thing. And I think it turned out pretty good. I painted these gloves gold, and some of the highlights are, if you could see in the elbow, it even still has its old green. There's gold on the wrists. There's gold where that armor was. That armor was initially black, but I decided to paint that gold, just like the straps and the under armor. I painted gold, and the straps in the back. Sorry, I've got a bit of a cold too, and I've been kind of doing this alone and kind of having a cold, and I apologize. The back of the head I painted black. It was kind of that kind of green color too. And like I said, I'm gonna probably not actually even do any of that stuff because I have the evader, and I'm going to actually be putting him in there, and for what I need him to do, that color and the paint actually works. Now, if you can see, this is actually Bullhorn's legs. He had a really nice color scheme. For some reason, Bullhorn's legs were put on this figure when I bought him. I bought a whole bunch of stuff all in an auction one time, and he came in it with the Demon Tank, APG Pilot, the Ferret, a couple other ones. But he had Bullhorn's legs on him. So I took away, I think he had like gray legs or something. And I painted the gun and the strap gold to give it a little more color. I gave his pouch here, obviously gold. I took his gaiters, which are like coverings for boots. I made that red, give him a little more color contrast, because my favorite color contrast, believe it or not, is the black and the red. That's always been, even young on, that has always been my favorite color combination. So I kept him as red and gold as I could, and black. He doesn't stand very well because when I painted him, well, the paint kind of made him kind of hard, and he doesn't stand extremely well. But he's standing good enough for right now. And his sidekick is going to be standing next to him. Next, I am going to be doing the Filecard. This is Darklon's Filecard. Codename Darklon, Evader Driver. Darklon is a distant cousin of Destro's clan, and the last of a long line of privateers, mercenaries, and investment bankers. From his cast iron castle in the Alps, he dispatched his private armies to do battle for the highest bidder until Destro called upon him to lead his legions in his bid to take over Cobra. Completely unhindered by ideology or ethics, Darklon is motivated purely by greed. His telephone solicitors have been known to drum up business for his mercenary army by offering reasonable hourly rates and cash rebates. Now, in this one, there is a mention of his castle in the Alps, but no mention that he is the leader of his own private country called Darklonia, and no real explanation of his real name and or why he is wearing a mask. If you saw our video on Sunday, we have the Gatling gun, which is really nice and really detailed. Here's a cock pump action, I believe, like a shotgun that you pull back. It's got this hose and tube that is run to this, for what I can tell, is an air canister. I'm hoping maybe if I put a little white piece, I should be able to see that better. And maybe not. That, well, it looks like an air canister. I think that's what that is. Because inside the drum here is darts. It's not actually a machine gun. It's not a normal machine gun Gatling gun. In the comics, you can see Darklon shooting Road Pig with darts. Now, I think that is silly. I mean, you're a man of war. On your file card, you're lending out men for troops, and you have a dart gun as your main weapon. I think that seems silly. It's got a really nice scope on there, on the top here. Really nice. I hope you guys can see that. And the tube and everything kind of goes into here. I would have liked it to actually have the tube and the air kind of go into here. I'm not even sure if that's how that would even work. But, well, anyway, I think of it more as a Gatling gun with actual bullets and not a Nerf gun. Which the idea seems silly to me. But it is a very nicely detailed gun. It looks nice. He looks good with it. I think that if you were to put your figure's hands here, it gives it a believable and nice looking stance that he would be shooting a very heavy machine gun look to it that kind of looks like it's gonna shoot a lot of, you know, whatever bullets and ammunition and stuff. And I think that looks pretty nice. Now next I'm going to do the Evader. Here is the Evader motorcycle. It is that traditional actual Iron Grenadier color. It's got the black and the gold and, well, a tiny bit of red just for the stickers. It's not like a super... Sorry about the screeching. That was unintentional. So it does have all the three major Iron Grenadier colors. The red, the black, and the gold. Now, I find that mine rolls actually really nicely, but mine does teeter a little bit. And that I don't like so much, but... Actually, I just kind of clicked it back into place, and now it actually is rolling even better and is actually not leaning so bad. Huh, all the better. Look at that. I'm going to talk about its armaments before I get to anything else. On the top here, it's going to be harder to see because of the coloring. They're all in black. But you get two very substantial, very nice missiles. I'm going to take these off here so that you guys have a pretty good look at them. They have some specific stickers on here. The XT missiles. I'm not sure if that's what they're called. I don't actually have the paperwork, but I'm guessing it's going to be something like that. The XT missiles. And they kind of have this, like... I don't know, kind of cool design on them. Little symbol of some sort. Maybe something Darklon had. And as you can see, they got these nice rocket here in the back. Nice fins. It's got some upper fins here. Some side fins. Front here. And top and bottom. So nice. Very nice. And then straight ahead. So there's no fins on the front, and they're both exactly the same. They're identical. So if you're missing one, you could go online, I'm sure, and find another one of these, and probably get them fairly cheap. They're just plain black, and they have the universal dumbbell and peg. So if you don't have them, I suppose you could possibly put whatever other kind of missiles you want. I suppose you could even, if you for some reason lost those, I suppose you could replace them with... Oh, well, these are not universal. These are a little bit skinnier. So, never mind. I was wrong. They do have the dumbbell. I'm pretty sure that... the other ones will probably be, other missiles would probably actually work. Those are just a little bit skinny. And because my fingers are fat and I'm not very dexterous, I have a hard time putting these missiles back on. And I keep scratching the thing, which is more a problem for you guys than for me. Next, I will show you another one of the features of this very nice vehicle. It has machine guns on the side, and mine are, well, this one's a bit loose. I took these off, and I'm going to take these off. I do not recommend doing this. They're really tight on there, and I just wouldn't recommend it. But maybe you would have one that's maybe not as tight, and maybe you have some figures that that don't actually have any weapons. Sorry about my phone going off. And you could give the some of your extra figures who do not have any, you could give them these, and these would be extra guns. Now, the okay, made him okay, well, made that guy too top heavy. Maybe this guy can hold him. Yeah, actually he can. Well, anyway, not really. Okay, maybe these aren't worth. Sorry. I guess they're not really worth it. It's shown on the box, and I don't have a box, so I can't show you that. But you can use these as handlebars, but they're too far apart for him to use them as handlebars like on a motorcycle. So I don't think that would work really either, but you can kind of have him do that and kind of hold it. There we go. He holds it, seems to hold it a little better. And it does have a nice magazine rack here that you can see where the ammunition would feed into here and probably go right into the gun. And that's nice. But I would suggest not taking these off. They're extremely hard to get back on, and you could break the pegs, and I would not want to see anybody breaking a peg. Especially when you have a gun like this already. He doesn't need another one. Now, I will show you what I was talking about. You put your figure in here. Mine doesn't really bend because of the paint, but he sits in there nonetheless. And see, when he's in the passenger seat, it would help if I put him. But see, I got the figure all the way in there, if you can see that. Maybe if I do it from the front. Oh, no, that made it much worse. Okay, he's in there. Okay, let's just say he's in there. You can't even get his hand to be there. And even if you could, let's just say that it's not, obviously. Look, because, I mean, you can see it's not. But look how far away the other arm is. Even if I were to stretch it out, you couldn't have him even touching both of them. Even if you could get him to go forward enough. And I'm not even being hindered by the, really being hindered by the seatbelt even. He can't even reach them. So they would not make for very good handlebars anyway. On the back here, you can see some very nice details. Sorry about the screeching again. Here is the exhaust pipes. Here is kind of this studded kind of look. See, you got the like the studs on the figure here. Match the studs on the vehicle. So I'm wondering if this was supposed to be more of a troop builder than an individual's bike. I'm not really sure. See, my bike still kind of leans, and that's kind of annoying. But it's got like the Iron Grenadier things on it. You can see like the spikes on here, and engine line. That's nice. Probably runs some kind of coolant or some kind of thing to the engine. Here's the vent. Here's some really nice. I'm not even sure what these are. I'm not very good with engines because I'm not very good with any of that kind of stuff. Here's another really nice thing. It's got like the Destro logo here and a nice armored. You can still see out of the grating, but it's got some nice armored hood here. Open it up and you can still see a little more engine detail in there. And it looks real nice in there. And then opposite side, there's even more detail. Some real nice detail in there, as you can see. And he sits in there really nicely. Now, I understand what they were trying to do with the machine guns and the whole thing, and being the handlebars and stuff, but it just, and I know it is such a minor nitpick. I shouldn't have even really brought it up. Or I only brought it up because on the box it looks like you can do that, and you can't. But everything else, the turret is really nice. The guns have a 360 range of motion. Mine kind of bumped up against there. The wheels are really nice. Roll really nicely. It's got a really nice bottom. It's here's the copyright information. Nice wheel. Mine's got a bit of a tip to it, but mine does roll really nice. It rolls really, really nicely, and it has some really nice details. I think this is a top 10 vehicle. I really do. I know that that's maybe an unpopular opinion, but it's sleek. It's got a cool design to it, makes it stick out, but not, you still know what it is. It's got some really nice missiles, some nice guns, some excellent engine and covering details, exhaust. So I really do think that this is a top 10 vehicle. As you saw before, I had it a little bit loose, and it still is. But I stuck a screwdriver in there, and I kind of wedged it a little bit and kind of pushed each side out just a tad, and that tightened it up just enough to make it stay. For one thing, I would not recommend doing that, because you could break the peg, and I would never want you guys breaking pegs. I don't want you guys doing that. That would be a real shame. And for what? For very little. Because so what if it flops around? I just wanted to try it, see if it would work. And it did, but I wouldn't even recommend taking these guns off. See, it's still a little loose. I wouldn't even recommend taking the guns off for any reason. You could give them to other figures, but in the great grand scheme, I'm thinking it's not even worth that. I did it to show you what you could do. Of course, it is your toy. It is your imagination. It is, of course, up to you what you decide. But I would not recommend it at all. Well, thank you for watching. I know that these aren't as good without Venom Lily. She makes all these videos a lot better, but she isn't here right now, and she kind of, she is 11. She felt like I was making her do videos, and I don't want her to feel that way, so I feel really bad about that. And so I'll be doing a couple by myself. I'm going to do this week and next week's by myself, and probably many others. But she does want to do Advent, so hopefully we can have some fun doing an Advent calendar and doing that pretty soon. There will be one more review this week, or this month, and then for the last Iron Grenadier vehicle, figure and vehicle, and then it'll be on to, there will be no reviews during the month of December. There will be the Advent calendar, then our annual Christmas tree decorating and presents and all of that. That will mark our second or third anniversary already. So we got quite a few videos in. This is going to be probably this one and one more, and there's going to be the preview of what the advent calendar is. Oh, and a couple of quick unboxings left. And then that should be it for the year. And we'll have our annual Christmas fun, and we'll start 2020. What an exciting thing. Never thought I'd get here. So, thank you for watching, and we will see you next time. Bye. The most dangerous woman in space.